ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ओम सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवद्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः। नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। So the Purva Pakshi asked a question. विद्या सहितानां कर्मणां नित्यारंभ सामर्थ्यमिति चेत् न विरोधात् नित्यं च आरभ्यते इति विरुद्धम्. So can we combine upasana and karma? He said no. Why? Because it cannot initiate. Nitya and arambha is contradictory words. Yat vinishtam tadeva na utpadyate iti pradvamsa abhavavat nityah api moksha arabhya eva iti chet. Like pradvamsa abhava you take. That is destruction at a continuity. After destruction, the non-existence, the part is destroyed. So that is continuity. The same part cannot be created for eternity. So pradvamsa abhava, destruction which is continuing. So if that is the case, because destruction is created and it becomes eternal, so similarly moksha can be created like pradvamsa abhava. Na mokshasya bhava rupatvat. Moksha is not a non-entity, it is an essence, it is a positive, it is an entity, it is not absence. Like what is referred is wrong referred. Pradvamsa abhavaha api arabhyata iti na sambhavati. Because there is no question of pradvamsa abhava begins. Why? Because there cannot be any initiation or beginning for non-existence. Because it never existed. Therefore, abhavasya vishesha abhavat vikalpamatram etat. So adding adjectives to non-existence is only vikalpa. So abhava vishesha. So abhavasya vishesha abhavat. There is no differentiation. Non-existences cannot be distinguished from one non-existence to other non-existence. Therefore, it is vikalpamatram etat. Up to here we have seen. Bhava pratiyogi abhavaha. And what is abhava? Bhava pratiyogi. So, that is non-existence, in fact, is that which is opposite to existence. Completely opposite. Meaning what? If existence is there, non-existence cannot exist there. And non-existence is there, existence cannot. That is called bhava pratiyogi abhavaha. Now, continuing Bhagavan Acharya's thought, still as here we have saw yesterday, yatha abhinnaha api bhavaha घटपटादिभिर्विशेष्यते भिन्न इव घटभावः पटभावः इति. एवं निर्विशेषः अपि अभावः क्रिया गुणयोगात् द्रव्यवत् द्रव्यादिवत् विकल्प्यते न हि अभाव उत्पलादिवत् विशेषण सहभावी विशेषणवत्वे भाव एव स्यात्. Now here again slowly we will go. यथा हि अभिन्नः अपि भावः घटपटादिभिर्विशेष्यते भिन्न इव घटभावः पटभावः इति. Now see, bhava means existence. No, existence is not differentiated. Existence is homogeneous. It is one without the second. So abhinnaha bhavaha. Bhava is existence. Existence is satta matra. That existence is that which supports the names and forms. Names and forms dissolve, but the existence is one. On that one universal infinite existence, satta matra, pure satta, pure existence. So everything is superimposed. So when you say existence of pot, existence of cloth, there the pot and cloth are different from each other, but existence is same. They are not separated. So existence is undivided, undifferentiated. It is one without the second. That existence, like everything exists. Akashaha. No, space is there. That is asti. We say everything asti, 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 asti. Iti. What is that astitva? Astitva. Astiness. Tva means existence. I mean ness. So asti means existence. So bhavaha manam yatha hi, just as now, abhinnaha api bhavaha ghatapatadibhir viseshyate. Though existence is undifferentiated, we differentiate it saying it is the pot's existence, cloth existence, like that. Like by differentiating, I differentiate it with the cloth and the pot, etc. Pot exists, cloth exists. Actually existence is same, but existence is differentiated by pot and cloth, etc. But existence is same. Just as an example again, sweet is same, but differentiated by, like sugar dolls. Sugar dolls are all made up of sugar. So this is a parrot sugar, this is horse sugar, this is elephant sugar. Actually sugar is same, but the form of that particular toy you are referring it to. So sugar is same, it is differentiated by guna and action, kriya, etc. Similarly, abhinnaha api bhavaha ghatapatadibhir viseshyate bhinna iva. Though it is one, it is seen as though it is separated. The existence is one, but it is seen as though the pot is separated, cloth is separated, cloth is different from the pot is different from the cloth. But existence supporting the both is one and the same. So, ghatapatadivir viseshyate bhinna iva ghatabhavaha patabhavaha. We say it is ghatabhavaha, existence of pot. This is existence of cloth. There are no so many existences to say existence of cloth is different from existence of pot. There are no different existences. But yet, that existence is apparently distinguished, differentiated. Keeping what? Keeping cloth and pot, etc. Ghatabhavaha, patabhavaha. Ghata means pot, pata means cloth. So what is this? Existence of cloth. What is that? Existence of pot. Now I differentiate the existence of pot from the existence of cloth. But existence per se is not differentiated. But existence is apparently differentiated because of the two superimposed things, cloth and the pot. So, similarly, so even though existence is one, it is one without the second, we differentiate it. Ghata pata adibhir viseshyate. It is differentiated with ghata and pata, etc. So, differentiated by a pot or a cloth as existence itself. So, it is, we say, existence of pot, existence of cloth. Now, vinnaiva ghata bhavaha pata bhava iti. Now we say differentiate करके ये तो existence of pot है, existence of cloth है करके अलग अलग करके हम बोलते हैं. We differentiate the existence. Actually, existence is same thing. Pot asti nasti va asti, ghataha asti nasti va asti. So ghataha asti, pata api asti. So asti is common, but ghata and pata is different. So the astitva is differentiated by ghata and pata. I am repeating, so otherwise you will not go into head. So now, evam, similarly, nirvisheshaha api abhavaha, evam nirvishesho api abhavaha, kriya guna yogat dravyadivad vikalpyate. Now, similarly, non-existence also. Non-existence also has no meaning to associate with particular object. Pots non-existence, cloths non-existence. I mean, high non-existence is one there. But why do we add differentiated by pot and cloth, etc.? So, nirvisheshaha api abhavaha. So, similarly, this abhava, non-existence of existence, is also actually is nirvishesha. It cannot be have any visheshata in that. It is not differentiated, distinguished. So, nirvishesha api abhavaha kriya guna yogat, because of its association with kriya, action and quality, gunas, non-existence. What do we say? Dravyavad vikalpyate. As though, just as substances are differentiated, dravyavat, dravya is differentiated from one dravya to other dravya, one matter to other matter is differentiated. Similarly, because of the association of kriya and guna, action and quality, one abhava is separated from other abhava. Actually, the abhava is one. Non-existence cannot be differentiated. It doesn't exist. So there is no point in telling pot's non-existence is different from cloth's non-existence, when both of them don't exist at all. But pot and cloth is added. But non-existence is non-existence. So, kriya guna yogat, because owing to their association of action and quality, dravyavat vikalpyate, just as substances are differentiated by action and quality, similarly, abhava also is differentiated, apparently different. So, existence also is one without the second. But so similarly, when I say ghatabhavaha, patabhavaha, existence is differentiated. Existence, although it is one, undifferentiated. So, one undifferentiated existence is apparently differentiated by the presence of the pot and the cloth. Similarly, non-existence also is undifferentiated, but dravyavad vikalpyate. It is vikalpa matram. My God. So, nahi abhava utpaladivad visheshana sahabhavi. Now, non-existence, they can never visheshana sahabhavi coexist with a visheshana. Now see, non-existent vastu, any non-existence cannot coexist with a guna, and quality, dravya, etc. First of all, how can a Visheshana, you take adjective for example, how can an adjective be associated with non-existence? How example, Utpaladivat. For example, now if lotus, blue lotus you take, Utpala is a lotus. You add adjective to lotus. What adjective? What is actually adjective? Adjective qualifies the noun. That is simple thing. What is noun here? Lotus. Now you say, one lotus is differentiated with blue lotus, red lotus, etc. Now blue lotus and red, blue and red are qualifying the noun called lotus. So lotuses are differentiated. A तो blue lotus है, a red lotus है. Why? Because lotus is asti. Lotus is there. So therefore, the lotus is differentiated from one lotus to other lotus because by adding adjective to it. So a blue lotus है, a red lotus है करके we can differentiate. But just as we can differentiate an existent lotus, but non-existence cannot coexist with a guna or quality. How can they coexist? Think. So therefore, Visheshanatva, nahi abhavaha utpaladivat Visheshana sahabhavi. Abhava cannot coexist sahabhavi with Visheshana. That is, with a guna, quality or adjective. Now what did you do? If lotus is non-existing lotus, how can you associate to a non-existing lotus a color and quality, etc.? Guna, kriya. It is impossible. Now, abhi kya hua abhi now? What is the thought now? Total thought. Now, suppose you take Pradvamsabhava. You say Pradvamsabhava is created and eternal. So, destruction is created and it is eternal. Similarly, moksha can be created. First of all, moksha is not abhava, it is bhava rupam. Number one. Now, in what is that? Since adjectives are always added to the noun, they qualify, coexist with the noun. Now you take Pradvamsa bhava, Gata bhava you take. In Pradvamsa bhava or Gata bhava example you take. Gata bhava means Gata is existent, something real. Abhava is non-existent. So they actually cannot go together. Number one. Even if you say that Gata abhava is created and eternal, the non-existence is created and it is eternal. Since non-existence and existence are opposite to each other, they can't coexist. Suppose you assume that they coexist, then Gata also becomes eternal. Pot becomes eternal now because non-existence is eternal and Gata is associated with, Gata is qualifying the non-existence. Which non-existence? Pot's non-existence. So when you say if you assume non-existence is eternal and created, the pot is associated with non-existence, therefore pot also become eternal. So in either way, existence is one, just as existence is one and differentiated by different presence of different objects. Non-existence cannot be differentiated. Therefore, there is no meaning in telling Pragabhava, Pradvamsabhava, Atyantabhava, Anyonyabhava. These are all trying to do something with the non-existence, but non-existence is undifferentiated. In Nyaya Shastra, why these words are used, the applicability is different for some solving some things. That is not that. But those principles of Nyaya, you cannot apply to Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta. It doesn't apply. So don't quote those things. They may have brought out those concepts to solve some things in Nyaya Shastra, which is not applicable here. Now we are discussing about something else. So you cannot relate these kind of examples stating that it's created, therefore moksha is created. It's not possible. Bouncers. ठीक है. So यथा अभिन्नः भी भावः घटपटादिभिर्विशेष्यते भिन्न इव घटभावः पटभावः इति एवं निर्विशेष अपि भावः अभावः क्रियागुणयोगात् द्रव्यवत् विकल्प्यते नहि अभावः उत्पलादिवद् विशेषण स्वभावः विशेषणत्वे भाव एव स्यात्. Now if you really add a visheshana, an adjective, if you are able to add to something non-existent, then it no more is non-existent, it becomes existence. Visheshanavatve tu bhava eva syat. It becomes presence now. It is no more non-existence. देखो ये शास्त्र चिंतन ना पहले बार सुनने समझ में नहीं आता है, बार बार सुनते 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 थोड़ा, but application of it. Therefore, moksha is not created. Non-existence is differentiation. Not is not there. Just existence is patabhava gatabhava. Only gata patabhir viseshyate. Actually, in a sense, it is one without the second. So non-existence cannot be, so many non-existences cannot exist. They cannot be there, so many non-existences. So, Visheshanavatve bhava eva syat. If you really add an adjective, really to it, anything, then it is no more a non-existent. It becomes an existent. So parts are non-existent. When part is there, non-existence is there. When existence and non-existence cannot go together, opposite each other. So either way, Maharaj, your thinking is incorrect. Now, Vidya karma kartru, here not, it's not a mithya, it's a nitya. It should be nitya there in the textbook. Vidya karma kartru nityatvat Vidya karma santana janita moksha nityatvam iti chet. Now he says Vidya karma kartru. Kartru is doer. The doer of actions and meditation. Vidya, meditation here, upasana. Karma, action. Kartru, doer. So Vidya karma kartru. This kartru is nitya. Eternal, is it not? The doer of karma and upasana, since the kartru, the doer is eternal, doer is nityatvat Vidya karma santana. Santana means continuity. So Vidya and karma लगातार जारी रखने से continuity. So because of that continuity of Vidya and karma, meditation and action, because of their continuity, if you continuously maintain that, out of that continuity moksha is born, that liberation, because you are applying something constant. So kartru is there. So kartru, doer is there. The doer is constantly maintaining Vidya and upasana. Now, since the continuity is there, Vidya and upasana by a doer, so that some moksha born out of that continuity is eternal. Liberation born of continuity of Vidya and upasana by a doer is eternal. That moksha is eternal. If we say so, अब इसलिए क्या हो रहा है? There is the myth is here is that कर्तृ I am there, the doer is there. मैं लगातार प्रयास करता रहूँगा and to maintain myself in that state of happiness. So whenever Vidya and karma, upasana and karma, I withdraw, then I become dukhi. So what I do? I don't withdraw myself from action which gives me pleasure and meditation or upasana which gives me pleasure. If I withdraw from them, you are unhappy. अब देखिए, 1 साल श्रवण बंद करके देखिए आप लोग. You are addicted to Shravan now, all of you. So addicted to listening. Addiction. Because of this addiction, you cannot remain at home. So whenever you go away from satsang for 1 month or 2 months, दिल आपका घबराता है. तो दैट मीन्स सत्संग में जो सुख मिलता है, मिलता रहा, आजकल अभी उस सुख का अनुभव नहीं हो पा रहा है. इसलिए सत्संग को जारी रखना है. तो रखने के लिए हम निरंतर प्रयास करना है. Now, if this is the Siddhanta which we have. अब दूर हो गया तो कर्तृ is differentiated now. और कर्तृ is withdrawn from karma and upasana. तो you will levels of happiness decreases. ट्राई करना है तो करके देखिए. देख चुके थे कब सब लोग ना, मुसीबत पड़ गए, जाना पड़ा, इधर उधर जाना पड़ा. Away from your addiction. It is applicable only to those who are addicted to satsang. Similarly, those who are addicted to television, वो भी कर्म और उपासना, टेलीविजन उपासना. ऑलवेज लगातार डायरी मेंटेन करो, विच सीरियल, व्हाट टाइम, हाउ लॉन्ग, who are the actors and actors, and where it stopped and when will continue. A big diary. There are some people are there. मंडे को वो आएगा, ट्यूसडे को वो आएगा, वेडनेसडे को ये आएगा, शुक्रवार को सुबह 6 बजे ये आएगा, शनिवार को सुबह ये आएगा, वो महात्मा आएगा, ये महात्मा आएगा. वो लॉट ऑफ डिटेल्स पीपल हैव सीरियल का. अच्छा, अब किसी कारण आप 15 दिन कहीं जाना पड़ा, वहां पे टेलीविजन नहीं है, आपके मन की स्थिति कैसी होगी? फोन करके पूछते कि उसको मार दिया कि नहीं सीरियल. हाँ, मार दिया. वही मैं परेशान में हूं कि मारा के नहीं. अरे बाप रे. Don't tell me these people are not there. I have myself seeing present continuous. Not saw and seen. I have been seen. They have been seen. Now what is happening? So vidya karma jari rakhe to you are happy. So santana means continuity. लगातार करने से जो हमको सुख मिलता है, that to which you are addicted to, that which you like it. So vidya karma कर्तृ नित्यत्वात्, विद्या कर्म कर्तृ नित्यत्वात्. कर्तृ since he is eternal, कर्तृ तो eternal है, नित्यत्वात्. तो विद्या कर्म संतान जनित मोक्ष नित्यत्वम इति चेत. तो लगातार करने से मोक्ष तो आ ही जाएगा. ओ भगवान न वै गंगा स्रोतवत कर्तृत्वस्य धूक्क रूपत्वात्. अरे बाबा, it's like a continuity of Ganga flow, perennial river. So that is what you are continuing that vidya karma. So kartru is continuous. Doer of vidya and karma. Doer of vidya and karma. Practitioner of karma and vidya is continuous like Ganga srota, like flow of Ganga. That kartrutva itself is dukkha rupa. That is evil results only it gives. This who kartru. Where the existence of kartru itself is painful. So, moreover, कर्तृत्व उपरमे च मोक्ष विच्छेदात्. अब by any reason, because of ill health or because of any other thing, this कर्तृत्व is withdrawn. कर्तृ means doer, you have withdrawn from regular meditation or उपासना and कर्म. Suppose जो जारी रखे उस withdraw हो गया आप, then moksha becomes vichhedanam. Moksha becomes discontinuity and moksha breaks. ये पागलपना है. So if it is depending on कर्तृ, वो जारी रखे कैसे, कितने साल, how long you can maintain it, first of all. So the vidya karma kartru nityatvat, the doer is nitya. So the doer, no, Guru Shankaracharya said, like a Ganga Stotra, this kartrutva which is continuously existing like a flow of Ganga itself is dukkha rupam. Otherwise, why do we want to sleep? Because I exist. This I as Kartru, existence of me as Kartru, as doer, itself is painful and I get tired, both in joy and happiness. Sorrow. लगातार सुख कोई भोग सकता है? Impossible. सुख में भी आराम चाहिए, दुख में भी आराम चाहिए. Any sukha you take, लगातार is painful. Out of that same sukha, enmity is born, hatred is born. Any sukha you take, out of that same sukha, if it is not discovering new things, think. Same dal, same tarika, nahi, badlo, नहीं तो मजा नहीं आ रहा है. सेम चावल बदलो, कभी रोस्ट, कभी जला के खाओ, मजा आएगा. रोज वही चावल खा रहे, थोड़ा जला दो आज. न तो जीरा राइस बना दो, न तो लेमन राइस, whatever it is. So same thing we cannot. You develop distaste to it. So the kartru to maintain is impossible, and kartru is withdrawn, uparame vichhed, moksha vichhedanam. Moksha becomes destroyed. Moksha state is destroyed. So therefore, tasmat, therefore, Prabhu, avidya kama karma upadana hetu nivrittau swatmani avasthanam moksha iti. What is moksha? This is the avidya kama karma. This is called bondage. Hridaya granthi. Ignorance of one's own self, avidya. Because I don't know that I am full in my being, one without the second, then kama is born out of it. Think. Kama is born, desire is born. That maybe if I do that, I will be full. Why? You are ignorant that you are not full. You think that your ignorance of your original nature of infinite self, which is already full, since I don't know, so I try for it, kama. Desire is born. Like Bhagavan Shankaracharya gave example, Kantabharanam in Atma Bodha. That gold chain, it turned backside. And you suddenly felt that it is missing. Then a whole search everywhere. And somebody tells that it is hanging backside. Now all the desire, the entire struggle, search, is only because of ignorance. So when I recognize that I am full, avidya removes. Because of avidya, because I don't know that I am by nature all-pervading reality, eternal, free, fearless. So ignorance is there. From the ignorance, to make myself full, desire is created. Why desire? What is desire? I plus I want or wanted thing is equal to full. Full me. Actually I plus I want something becomes not full me but fool me हो जाता है, FOOL. So I am there. Now if I am not happy with myself, why? Ignorant. So I have a desire. What desire? Maybe I eat, I become full. Maybe I do this, I become full. Maybe I do this, I become full. This constantly searching. So avidya, kama, and that kama leads to karma, and karma leads to another avidya, and avidya leads to kama, kama leads to karma, and karma leads to another stupidity, and that stupidity leads to desire, improvement. It's called improvised desire. Garnished desire. In Western countries, I am not happy with one wife, so two wives. I am not happy with one house, so two houses. One not happy with one car, two cars. No new model. Idea is this: if there is a need, you take 10 cars. You must have 20 cars also if required. That's a different issue. But the desire leading to, ignorance, because of ignorance, a desire to fulfill, and desire leads to action. So avidya kama karma upadana nivruttau. What is upadana? Material cause of these things, the cause of it. Nivruttau. When this is moola karanam is nivruttau, only upon the destruction of the cause of all these things, nivruttau, swatmani avasthanam, then one is abiding, one abides in one's own being. That abidance in one's own self is called as moksha, full stop. There is nothing Bhagavan other than you. There is no reaching, there is no gati. यहाँ मरना, उधर जाना, वहाँ पे जाके वो सब सताना, वैकुंठ में जाओ वहाँ पे भी रोना शुरू. It is not. So the day we recognize that swatmani avasthanam, firm abidance in my own self is realization. तो उसी के लिए प्रयास करना है. So tasmad avidya kama karma upadana hetu nivruttau, when the destruction of all these three, swatmani avasthanam, firm abidance in the self, that itself is called moksha or liberation. It is not pradvamsa bhava, praga bhava, vidya karma upasana, kare, not santana janita, vidya karma kattu santana janita. All these things are not moksha. Swayam cha atma brahma, and one's own atman is none other than Brahma Swarupameva. Okay. Tad vijnanat avidya nivrittihi iti. So that Brahman, that Atman, when we know, recognize, that itself is Brahman. So that Brahma Jnanam alone, tad vijnanat, only after realizing the truth, the Brahman, avidya nivrittihi iti. This avidya will completely goes away. Avidya nivritti iti Brahma Vidyartho Upanishad Arabhyate. Therefore, Tad Brahma Vidyartham, to gain that knowledge of Brahman, Upanishad begins now. Abba. कुछ कब्र बता दिया आपने 4 days के बाद. तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद कुछ भी नहीं हुआ. तद विज्ञानात् अविद्यानुवृत्ति इति ब्रह्म विद्यार्थ उपनिषद आरभ्यते. What is Upanishad? Upanishad iti vidya uchyate. We have seen in Kathopanishad Bhashya. Brahma vidya uchyate. Upanishad shabdena Brahma vidya uchyate. Vidya uchyate. Brahma vidya uchyate. Upanishad means the knowledge of Brahman. And Bhagavan Shankaracharya gave the definition of Upanishad, meanings of Upanishad. Here same thing Bhagavan is giving again to us. Upanishad iti vidya uchyate. Tat Shilinam. Tat Shilinam means those who are devoted to it. To it means Brahma vidya. Those who are devoted to that Brahma vidya. Tat Shilinam. Garbha Janma Jarad Nishatanat. Tad Avasanadva. Brahmanova. Avasanadva. ब्रह्मणो वा उपनिगमयितृत्वात् उपनिषन्नं वा अस्यां परं श्रेय इति. 4 meanings are given. Number 1, Garbha Janma Jaradi Nishatanat. Because this Brahma Vidya ends the Garbha, Janma, born in womb, first entering into womb, then taking birth, then becoming old, Jara, Adi, etc., etc. Nishat. This destroys. There is no need for us to come into earth to go through the entire process for our own happiness or so. Not required. So this destroys. Therefore, it is Upanishad. Or Avasanadva. Either it ends the Janma, Jara, etc., or loosens the bondage of this. So first loosens and then ends ultimately. So Avasanadva Brahmanova Upanigamayitruttvat. Otherwise, third meaning is that Upanishad is that which it takes us nearer to Brahman. Upanigamayitruttvat. Since it takes me nearer to Brahman, third meaning Upanishad. Or Upanishannam va asyam param shreya iti. Param shreya asyam Upanishannam. Upanishannam means embedded. In this Brahma Vidya, highest Shreyas is embedded. So because highest Shreyas is embedded in it, this also is called Brahma Vidya. So Brahma Vidya is 4 meanings. Upanishad is 4 meanings are given. So the Upanishad is that which puts an end to Garbha, Janma, etc., etc. Brahma Vidya. Upanishad Shabdena, Brahma Vidya. What is Brahma Vidya? That which puts an end to this, number 1. Or loosens the bondage, number 2. Or it takes me nearer to Brahman. Or in this Brahma Vidya, highest good is embedded. Therefore it is Brahma Vidya. Upanishad Shabdena Vidya Uchate. Tadarthatvat Grantha api Upanishad. Because this textbook, Grantha, is also called as Upanishad because this is meant for that. This speaks about Upanishad, and this is Upanishad text also is meant to reveal the knowledge of Upanishad and takes me near Brahman. Therefore, Kitab also Upanishad only. What is Upanishad? Brahma Vidya. Iti Uchyate. Now, we'll chant again together. Shanti Mantra begins. Om Shanno Mitrasham Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indro Brihaspatihi Shanno Vishnururukramaha Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Prachaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Prachaksham Brahma Vadishyami Rutam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanmamavatu Tadvaktaramavatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sham Sukham Pranavrittehe Ahanasya Abhimani Devatatma Mitraha Naha Asmakam Bhavatu. Tatha eva apanavrutte ratrescha abhimani devatatma varunaha chakshushi adityecha abhimani aryama bala indraha vachi buddhauja brahaspatihi vishnu urukramaha vistirna kramaha padayoho abhimani evam adhyatma devataha shamnaha bhavatu iti sarvatra anushangaha. Sham means sukham, blissful. Sham means blissful. And what is that now? Who is this? Mitra. Mitra is Pranavrittehe Ahnasya Abhimani Devatatma. The Atma, the Devata, who identifies with Pranavritti, inhaling. Pranavritti, plus Ahnascha Abhimani, one who identifies with the day, Surya Bhagavan. So, this Devatatma, the self of that Devata, real self is inner self only. That Devatatma, one who identifies with the day and also Prana, what does it do? Naha to us, Asmakam, Sham Bhavatu, Sukam Bhavatu. O Mitrama, what do you call Mitra, O Surya Bhagavan, who is one who identifies with the day and the Prana Vrittihi, be kindly, be blissful to us, be benevolent towards us, be pleasant towards us. Don't show your anything. So kindly be pleasant, be blissful, be helpful, be blissful to us. Become auspicious to us. Similarly, Tatha eva apana vrittehe ratres abhimani devatatma Varunaha. Varunaha is the devata who is identified with Ratri, night, plus apana vritti, exhaling. So, to Varuna devata, one who is identified with the night and Ratri and exhalation. That's why in Ratri, Kapha vritti goes up. In Ayurveda Shastra, early morning Kapha is always there. Ratri mein ठंड होने के कारण Varuna water content increase in the body, and morning that's why the choking throat and the what you call Kapha Gip and all that accumulates. That's why night it is not allowed to drink those things or eat those things which would increase the water content in the body and make one suffer from cold and cough next day morning. Varuna Vritti, Rastres Abhimani, Varuna Devata, plus exhaling, one who is Apana Kriya, Varunaha. Now, Chakshushi Adityecha Abhimani Aryama. Aryama, again sun god only. So, Chakshushi, one who is identified with Chakshus, eyes, as well as the Aditya, Abhimani. One identified with Aditya and Chakshushi, Aryama, and Bala, one who identified with the strength is Indra. Vachi Buddhaucha Brahaspati, one who is identified with speech and intellect is Brahaspati. Vishnu Rurukramaha, Vistirna Kramaha, Vishnu of long strides. And who is Vishnu? Padayor Vishnustishtato, Pada Abhimani, one who is identified with the feet and the one of long strides, one who is of long strides. The Vamana Avatar dekha na, longest strides dekha. So, Vishnu, Padayo Abhimani Devata, Evam Adhyatma Devataha Shamnaha. Thus, all these deities are with respect to our context of the body. Adhyatma Devataha. May kindly be blissful to us. Show your grace. Be benevolent. Blissful to us. Bhavatu iti sarvatra anushangaha. Bhavatu, it is applicable to all. May you be blissful to us, may you be blissful to us. Karke it is. Because he didn't add Bala, Indra, Vachi, Buddha, Brahaspati, like that he told. So Acharya says this is applicable to all. Thus, first, Shenno Mitraha, Varunaha, Bhavatu Aryama, and Indra, Brahaspati, Vishnu Rurukramaha, all these Adhyatma Devatas. With respect to the body context, our salutations. Why? Tasuhi Sukakrutsu Vidya Sravana Dharana Upayoga Apratibandhena Bhavishyanti iti Tat Sukakartrutvam Prarthyate Shenno Bhavatu iti. Now, Tasu, those devatas alone, when these devatas alone, Sukakrutsu, only when these gods are benevolent to us, Sukakrutsu, then for us, Vidya, in the case of knowledge, Shravana Dharana Upayoga, listening and holding that, plus Upayoga, utilizing it or practically implementing it or communicating it, Upayoga Apratibandhena Bhavishyanti. It can go on without any hindrances. Only when these gods in the body are benevolent to us. When they are Sukhakartsu, they are giving us happiness. They don't create any problems in the body. So Tasuhi Sukhakartsu Vidya Sravana Dharana Upayoga अप्रतिबंधेन भविष्यन्ति इति तत् सुखकर्तृत्वं प्रार्थ्यते. So it is now their benevolence is prayed for, their grace is invoked. We pray so that, oh Bhagavan, oh these gods, devatas, please be benevolent to me so that I can continue my studies and progress. Shanno bhavatu iti. So may you be blissful to us. This is the meaning. Otherwise, vidya in the gaining of knowledge, nothing is possible. That's why Shanti mantra is chanted before the chanting. Suppose Shravana, Dharana, Upayoga, both these things goes for 6. These all three. Shravana, सुने नहीं आ रहा है, सुबह तो आके बैठ गए मगर सुनना नहीं होता है. Devatas are sleeping, they are not cooperating. Or Dharana, you are not holding it. Or we may not be able to communicate or bring it to practical utility. So all these things will miss if you don't invoke these gods in the body to help us. So tat sukhakartritvam prarthayate shanno bhavatu iti. Here we will stop. Now Brahma Vividushana Namaskara Vandana Kriye Vajvishaye Brahma Vidya Upasarga Shantyartham Kriyate. Now again for another prarthana to Vayu is offered. That we will see tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.